Hi, my name is Anna from CrossFit Upper Keys, and I want to thank you so much for checking out our nutrition talk all about under eating. More specifically, we are going to dive into the three signs you may be under eating or not eating enough, and explain why eating less is not always the best option for reaching your health and wellness goals. Healthy Steps Nutrition, our partner, has helped over 35,000 people all around the world take control of their health. Here are just some of the incredible success stories. If you're looking to create your own success story, we're here to help. We know while that it is simple, it is far from easy. First, we need to figure out what is holding back from reaching your goals, and for many, it's chronically under eating. I had a client walk into my office and tell me about her weight loss journey that has resulted in quite lackluster results. During this conversation, I learned that she had been battling her weight starting in her late teens, early 20s. She had tried any and all diets, including fad diets, restrictive eating, counting calories, shakes, and anything else that you can think of. Over the years, her weight has shown some yo-yoing, but ultimately no significant weight loss. She finally took a deep breath after explaining all of those diets when she asks, I feel terrible, but I'm eating less and doing all the things I've been told to do to lose weight, but I'm still not seeing progress. What am I missing and what am I doing wrong? This frustration in a weight loss journey is not unique. This happens all of the time. Diet culture tells us to eat less and lose weight, oftentimes promoting diet plans for less than 1,000 calories per day. So today, I want to walk you through some signs that you may not be eating enough and the reason why eating less is not always the best path for reaching your goals. So let's dive in. And before we go any further, I want to do a shout out to our very own Hal, who is in the front row right here, in an I Am CrossFit Upper Keys shirt. I think this is taken at the games a few years ago. So just wanted to shout out that we have our very own in one of these pictures. I would like to start by first explaining just a few basics when it comes to our metabolism or energy balance to help understand why so many people struggle to lose weight and to keep it off when eating less. Have you heard the saying, calories in and calories out? This is a general rule that if we take in more energy in the form of calories than we expend, we will gain weight. The opposite is also true in that if we take in less energy than we expend, we will lose weight. So you may be wondering, if this rule is true, then why is eating less not always the answer? Well, it turns out many factors will influence that super simple equation. I want to start by by explaining some of the factors that may alter intake. First is your appetite. As obvious as it may seem, your appetite is affected by our hormones. You have two main hormones we'll be discussing today called leptin and ghrelin. Leptin is a hormone produced by our fat tissues that signal to our brains that we are feeling full. Ghrelin is released in the stomach, which is called our hunger hormone, to tell us when we're hungry. This is important because when we drastically decrease our calorie intake, it affects our body's hormones. Our ghrelin will shoot up, which makes us feel hungry all the time. Think of that last time you were feeling really, 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 really hungry. How hard was it to stick to healthy eating and stay away from fast food or treats? While hormones play a big role in influencing intake, there may be other factors, including your environment. For example, studies show people consume more when eating with friends and family than when alone. In addition, palatability, how good the food tastes, or the reward of the foods we're eating, as well as our mindset, can influence how much we're taking in or eating. Now, let's briefly take a little bit of time to explain a few factors that may influence energy output. So we talk about energy intake, now we're talking about energy output. First, you have your BMR, or basal metabolic rate. This is the estimated amount of calories your body needs when at rest to continue the basic needs of living. But we also need to take into account the physical activity level, which includes our day-to-day movement, such as going to the grocery store, chasing our kids, vacuuming the house, as well as our more organized physical activity, such as running or doing a workout. The last thing we take into account is the thermic effect of food, or how much energy our body needs to take down or metabolize the food we consume. So we have our basal metabolic rate, our physical activity outside of our workout, inside of our workout, and then how much energy our body is taking to metabolize or break down the food that we need. Okay, cool. I've explained why calories in, calories out statement isn't just as simple as it sounds. So let's discuss those 3 signs you are under eating. Then we talk about why it may not be the right answer for you or me. Sign number 1 is you are constantly hungry. We've all been there. You start eating less, and now all you can think about is the next time you get to eat. Haven't we all been there? This circles us back to those 2 hormones that we briefly discussed earlier, ghrelin, leptin. When you eat less, your body signals for an increased release of ghrelin, making you feel super hungry. When we feel more hungry, it can lead to increased portions, more frequent little sneaky handfuls of pantry snacks, and over-consuming sweets when we finally succumb to those cravings. All of these things will lead to a surplus of calories, which will inevitably prevent your body from losing weight. We should be focusing on eating an amount where we aren't feeling hungry. While a decrease in calories may sound like the result is always feeling hungry, if we choose more whole food options that provide more volume and add them into our meals and balancing those meals and snacks, we can combat that. One of the easiest ways to start balancing your meals is by reshaping your plate using our handy dandy plate method. This is filling half of your plate with non-starchy veggies, a quarter of that plate with lean protein, and a quarter with starchy carbs and a healthy amount of fat. In addition, we're going to give you a few pro tips. I like to eat my veggies and protein first and leave those really tasty, starchy carbs for last. Something else I really like to do is to remove all distractions, such as a television or my phone, from the meal or snack time. I also like to eat mindfully. I like to set a timer and take a full 20 to 30 minutes to enjoy that meal. The other thing that helps me slow down is putting my fork down in between each bite and making sure I'm chewing everything about 15 to 25 times. I know that sounds like a lot, but try it. Let's see what happens. Sign number 2 is you are moody. We all know what comes with being hungry all the time, that hangry feeling, and no one wants to deal with that. Did you know that in 2018, the word hangry was officially added to the dictionary? It is defined as bad tempered or irritable as a result of hunger. So you started to eat significantly less. Your body is protesting by increasing that production of that hormone ghrelin. And now you may or may not be starting unnecessary fights with friends and family. This mood shift is a classic sign that you're not eating the right amount of food to reach those goals. So, what is really happening that causes us to feel that hangry feeling? When we start to eat less, our blood sugar starts to drop. When our blood sugar starts to drop, it triggers a cascade of hormones, including increased cortisol and increased adrenaline. This happens as a way for your body to fix those low level of necessary blood sugar, leaving us feel more agitated. To combat this drop in blood sugar, consider eating smaller, more frequent meals, including balanced snacks between major meal times. This will help to stabilize your blood sugar and keep you from that awful, agitated feeling. Sign number 3 is sleep and stress issues. Let's start with sleep. You've likely heard a lot about how sleep deprivation has been found to lead to insulin resistance and weight gain. But did you know that undereating while following strict dietary patterns can also interrupt the quality of sleep? One small study followed 10 young women dieting for 4 weeks. They found these study participants had difficulty falling asleep and less overall deep sleep. Another study found that the starvation level calorie restriction led to a reduction in slow wave sleep or that deep sleep we just talked about. This can definitely alter our stress. A large study of more than 2,500 Australian teens found that extreme dieting was not only associated with decreased quality in sleep, but also higher levels of depression and anxiety, which will also alter another important hormone in our health and wellness journey. Okay, let's talk about cortisol, or the stress hormone. It's often called this because it is released in response to stress. Most of us have heard a lot about cortisol when it comes to inhibiting weight loss goals. If you're constantly limiting your intake, which leads to increased stress and lack of sleep, your body's cortisol is very likely to be elevated. Elevated cortisol levels will not only alter our metabolism, but it will also cause water retention, which may mask any fat loss occurring. If you have or are experiencing mood shifts, constant feelings of being hungry, or sleep and stress issues, you may be eating too little. Now, let's talk about why this isn't always the answer to those weight loss goals. So, what happens when we undereat and your body doesn't get the energy it needs? Well, initially, the body will use fat stores for energy, and that is how people begin to lose weight. But over time, the body will adjust to this chronic calorie deficit, undereating, and metabolism will slow down. So the body isn't burning energy as efficiently, and then weight loss eventually stops because the metabolism has slowed down. It becomes extremely hard to maintain your weight eating anything more than a set number of calories your body has adjusted to. Additionally, it also becomes very, very difficult to lose weight despite hard efforts at eating clean and exercising regularly. After hearing all of this, you may feel like losing weight is a hopeless cause, but that is far from the truth. I encourage you to try thinking about it this way. Rather than focusing on the result of weight loss, focus on the journey of building healthy habits. Rather than eating fewer calories, focus on eating more whole foods that provide fewer calories than those tasty processed foods. Yes, processed foods are more convenient, but you'll get way more vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients from those whole foods, not to mention volume, which means you'll be eating more food. Rather than getting sucked into fad diets and the seemingly endless cycle of undereating, find a professional who can be the guide, help you build a plan, and keep you accountable to reach those goals. If you want to learn a little bit more about popular nutrition myths and what you need to know, check out episode 26 of the Nutrition Made Simple podcast. At this point, you should be waiting for more ways you can start eating the right amount of food for those goals. With all of the misinformation out there, we know that this can feel overwhelming. To start building your foundation, we have some of our HSN principles that have helped a bunch of people take control of their health one habit at a time. Principle number 1 is add more whole foods into your diet. Start choosing those whole food options and less processed foods that tend to be packed with sodium, fat, and sugar. A simple way to start this is by reshaping your plate with the plate method. That's half of your plate non-starchy veggies, a quarter of that plate lean protein, another quarter of that plate those starchy carbs, and adding in those mindful, healthy fats. Principle number 2 is focus on balance. When we say balance, we mean, does every meal and snack you consume throughout the day contain a carb, protein, and fat? Pairing each meal and snack with all 3 of these macronutrients will help you feel much fuller longer. Principle number 3 is limit the amount of added sugar you consume daily. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 6 teaspoons for women and 9 teaspoons for men per day. The average person consumes over 150 pounds of sugar per year. That's 46 teaspoons per day. It's not surprising sugar is super addicting and feels hidden in almost every food product you find in a package. Now, I'm just going to answer some of our frequently asked questions. What should I eat around my workout? Fueling around your workouts to gain muscle, lose fat, increase energy, or any other health and wellness goal is super important. We want to aim to have a healthy carb and protein before and after our workout. I like to say, if you don't put gas in your car, you wouldn't expect it to get you anywhere, would you? Then don't run your body on E or empty. My favorite pre-workout fuel is a protein shake and a Fit8. You could also choose applesauce pouch and one of our HSN egg muffins. My favorite thing post-workout is a little bit of non-fat Greek yogurt with a handful of berries, either blueberries, strawberries mixed in. Try one of those next time, before or after or both, and see how you feel. I don't love veggies. What do I do? What if I don't like veggies? I've heard this so many times, and maybe you feel this way. But I want to challenge you and ask, what if you just haven't found the way you like to eat them? Roasting your veggies for a nice crunch rather than mushy veggies, adding a good seasoning or flavor you can be excited about, and even finding little ways to sneak them into recipes like smoothies is an easy way to get veggies in your day. Where should I start? This is a great question. I want you to start with one thing at a time. Maybe it's something you already have in mind, or maybe it's one of those things we discussed earlier today. But the best and fastest way to reach your goals is to work one-on-one with a nutrition coach to help build an individualized plan just for you. If you're looking to break that cycle of not eating enough and start building those healthy habits for reaching your goals, let me know. There's never been a perfect time to get started. There is always something that will come in the way. You have to make a commitment to yourself. It's simple, not easy, but we're here to help you. If you're thinking this all sounds great, but I don't even know where to start, or I really just need someone to help me create a plan that's realistic for me and someone to keep me accountable, we would love to help you. Our nutrition program believes something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated. We use a habit-based approach to create an individualized plan just for you. We work together using our many tools and resources to build your nutrition foundation to create a sustainable plan. Along with all of those tools and resources, we know how important support and accountability is when it comes to your long-term goals, which is why we will be there to help guide and tweak the plan every step of the way. Our nutrition program has helped over 30,000 people all over the world take control of their health. Here is just some of our incredible success stories of our clients in the past. If you're looking more to hear about this program and how it can change your life, there's the Nutrition Made Simple podcast. Take a look through all of them. They have a lot of options for whatever you're struggling with. We are so excited to announce that we have openings for our nutrition coaching and accountability program. We have 5 spots open, and here's what it would look like. You work with one of our nutrition coaches to create a customized plan. You check in weekly to keep you accountable and discuss your progress and tweak that plan. Here's the link to schedule a free intro so we can learn more about your goals and talk about how we can achieve them. Remember, today we discussed those few signs that you may be eating too little, as well as why it's not always the right answer. If you're ready to understand the best ways for you to reach your goals, now's the time to take control of your health, work with one of our professional nutrition coaches to help you find the best balanced foods in the right amounts. Thank you so much for joining our nutrition talk today. We absolutely can't wait to have you guys come to our next one or check it out on the recording. Hope you guys have a great day.